Hey, it goes 1 for the money, 2 for the show. 3 to get ready. Now here we go. Hey, okay, so look, man, it's a lot going on for sure. So your boy, today we going to upload this Twitter Spaces, right, where we discussed Halo and value. And this is important because, oh, wait, y'all see the DualSense? Y'all check that out. You see what your boy working with over here? Yeah, okay, so Halo, Twitter Spaces, right? So we had a Halo expert, Leviathan Gamer. Some of y'all know Leviathan. He is like top 500 in the world ranked in Halo. And so he was giving us some information about Halo development and all this good stuff. But the main topic of the conversation was the value of Halo Infinite, given that it's releasing in pieces, given that it will not be fully featured, given that they're taking away major components of the game to deliver them at a later time. And you got all these bots talking about value and you're supposed to get this stuff for free and all of this type of thing, right? So we are having a honest discussion about the value, the real value of Halo Infinite being delivered in pieces instead of a full product at launch.
What up? What's going on? How's everybody doing? What's going on? Hey, so for y'all that was here for that spaces we did on Monday about the console wars, man, today 3 hours. I do not believe that we actually sat on the spaces for 3 hours. It didn't even seem like it was that long, but it was. So I'm gonna upload that to the channel today, and it got cut off, right? So part of the ending of the stream, I don't even have it. It couldn't even work, so it got cut off. But the part that we do have, I'm gonna go on and upload it since so many of y'all been asking me. But that does bring up a point, which is these spaces gonna have to be a lot shorter, man. We can't be doing no 2 and 3 hour spaces. We're going to have to try to get everything in that we want to say in about an hour and a half, and then, bounce on out of here. But I do appreciate all of the support. Everybody have opinions that they want to share. And that's what's up, right? Like, that's what this is all about, right? Because at the end of the day, the reason that I personally start doing spaces is because it gives the gamers a chance to speak back. YouTube is fine and all of that, but with YouTube, you have to just like either chat or super chat or something really significant to be noticed to have your voice heard. So you either have to be in good with whoever's doing the live stream, you have to be get preferential treatment, or you have to really make yourself stand out with a super chat or something. And that's really the only way to have your voice heard. And even if they respond to your super chat, you nothing back, right? You can't have a rebuttal or any of that stuff. So if they misunderstand your super chat, the only thing you can do is send another super chat to get it cleared up, stuff like that, right? So the whole reason that I do these spaces is so that the gamers have a chance to just speak freely. You don't need a YouTube. You don't need nothing. All you need is your phone and just, speak. Let your voice be heard. That's it. So that is the purpose of these spaces as opposed to a video. But like I said already, for y'all that's just coming in that didn't really hear everything, the spaces from earlier this week with the console war stuff, I'm going to upload that to my channel today. It is long. That joint almost 3 hours. I had no idea that much time had passed. But that's crazy. We can't be doing that, y'all. We can't. I know people have a lot to say, but we can't be doing that, man. An hour and a half tops. An hour and a half is pushing it. It's up to me. We get these joints in and out in about an hour, and we done, and we move on. These super long spaces, that ain't gonna cut it, man. So that all being said, today we're gonna try to get some stuff going about Halo Infinite. and this whole talk of value, right? So that is the Xbox. So again, when I say Xbot, XBOT, I'm differentiating between an Xbot and a normal fan of Xbox. But lately I just started grouping them together because I'm seeing all this foolishness that's in these Twitter streets, and I know these legit Xbox fans see it too, but they don't never call it out, right? They just watch all act a fool, and then as soon as somebody like me be like, hey man, it's time to check these bots because they tripping, then they want to tell me to calm down, or why you going off, or be more positive, or some of their, some bullshit like that. And miss me with that, man. Look, tell these bots when they acting up, tell them to stop being on trash and to be more positive. Do not try to police me, but then let these motherfuckers roam free. Absolutely not. That is not gonna work for me at all. So just to let you know, all of your pleas of code behave, or code focus on the positive, or you've been really going at Xbox lately, blah blah blah. Look, man, miss me with all of that. If you want this stuff that you consider toxic, this stuff where I'm addressing these Xbot narratives and all of that stuff, consider that toxic and you want it to stop, what you're doing, what you're trying to do is you're trying to treat the symptom and not the cause. Don't come at me asking me to stop. You talk to these fucking bots and tell them to stop. When they stop, I'll stop. But as long as they out here spreading misinformation, misleading people, and being on that bullshit, I'm going to be here to correct it. So if you want it to stop, then you need to talk to the bots themselves. Again, because I know y'all see it. If I see it, y'all see it. I know y'all do. It ain't like they hiding, doing it in the corner or in the shadows. They open with this shit. And I know y'all see them, just like I see them. So, to be clear, miss me with that bullshit. If you want it to stop, then you need to talk to these bots. So we're going to talk about Halo and, oh man, we got a couple requests already. That's what's up. All right, let me get Enrique in here. And Leviathan, man, you want to come in here, man. Don't be scared of these clowns. If you want me to stop cussing, I will, Leviathan. Let me get, okay, so we got 3 requests. All right, we're going to go in order. Enrique, then Hulk, then King Thrash. What's up, Enrique? What you got, sir? What's going on, man?
Am I botting?
Okay.
Or did you wait? Did you call me a bot, or did you say I'm botting?
Now you good. What's up?
Oh, you can hear me now.
You were bot.
Okay,
but you're not.
I used to bot.
Yeah, you did.
Anyhow, yeah, no, seriously, man, it was bad. I'm telling you, you just described, man. I lived it, man. It's real. People think you're joking around, but it's not, bro. It's real. It is real. I lived it. Yes. So, Code, it's interesting you're talking about Halo and, what's it called? And value. This was brought up on Brad on Wednesday night, which you were a part of. Thank you, sir. When you brought up the $60 price point and a 6 to 10 hour campaign that's not releasing with certain feature sets, right? And Alex kind of chimes in too, and he's like, yeah, why am I, if I'm giving you $60, those are complete dollars.
Yeah. Hey, hold off on that part, Brad, because we ain't got to that yet. So we're going to set it all up, and then just mute for a minute until we get it all set up, and then you can come back in on that. Can you hear me? All right, so we had Hulk and then Thrash. Hulk, what up? What you got? You muted, Hulk. What you got? Still can't hear you. What's up, bro? Can y'all hear him? Or...
Can you hear me?
Okay, yep, there you go. What's up, Hulk? What you got?
Hey, so is my audio good or no? Just want to make sure before.
yeah, Lev, you good, bro.
Okay.
You definitely good. I thought that was Hulk speaking. Put yourself till we gonna let Hulk go, which he ain't saying nothing, so we gonna drop him, and we're gonna get King Thrash in here, and then Xbox University. Oh my God, what he want? And then we gonna go from there, and we gonna go ahead and get it started. Because again, these little 3-hour spaces that ain't gonna cut it, man. An hour and a half tops. Thrash, what you got, sir? King Thrash, the mic is yours. We can't hear you though. Yeah, Twitter probably trying to shut us down already. All right, looks like he dropped. All right, we're gonna get Xbox University in here. He's probably about to get the foolishness going already. Xbox University, what you got? Yeah, we hear you loud and clear. What you got? All right, Thrash, we got you. Hold on.
No, let King Thrash go ahead. I'll wait. Go ahead.
All right, go ahead, Thrash. The mic is yours.
All right, bet. Good morning, everybody. You know what I'm saying? At least it's morning for me.
What up?
You know what I'm saying? Way early
Yeah,
in the morning,
yeah.
my nigga. I don't know if my truck is loud or nothing. Just hopefully not. But
You good? No, you all good. Oh, you at work?
yeah, I'm at work. But I haven't started driving yet. I think I just got up, made me some coffee real quick and shit. But
All right, that's what's up.
that about that first thing you were saying about like Xbox people coming at you, tell you to calm down and all that.
Yeah.
I always say this, man. Like mainly, we talk about Xbox and Microsoft. We're not talking about you. You know what I mean? Like you as an individual. Why you offended by something that you see on the news that you're not saying nothing about?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like everybody has
Right.
permission. Like we're customers, bro. Like they supposed to be trying to get our dollars. And if we see something that we don't like, we're talking that shit because you're not impressing us. So
Facts.
if anything, we help Microsoft, just like you helping PlayStation when you judging them. Thank you for that. But
Facts.
as far as Halo go, I mean, like they said, I mean, they complain about $70. They giving you a campaign for $60 that ain't got half the campaign in it. That ain't got ain't got Forge.
Oh, wait a minute, Thrash. Why are you here? I'm glad. Hey,
What's up?
so my guy is on the call, and from what I understand, there was some beef between you and Leviathan. Thrash, you're gonna have to reconsider that because Leviathan is as real as it gets, bro. We're gonna talk about this.
Leviathan tried to tell me.
We're gonna talk about this.
Leviathan.
Oh no, Thrash.
Okay.
Let's not do that right now.
Okay.
That was my fault for bringing it up. I'm just saying, I stand with Leviathan. That man's knowledge is top notch. So me and you, we gonna work this out.
Hey, well, his knowledge ain't top notch on what's going on in between me and Digital Foundry. I'll tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, that's
cool.
We're gonna get it worked out. Yeah, we'll get it worked out.
But no,
All right.
I mean,
so what you got with the value thing?
the value thing. I mean, it's a robbery. It's highway robbery, man. What they're doing is they're stretching out the game as much as they can to keep you paying for Game Pass. Just period. They're gonna design almost all their games, especially their marquee games like this, to where it's a value for Game Pass for you to keep paying. Right now, as it stands, they said season 3 up until for the campaign is when you're going to have the full campaign, basically from co-op.
6 months.
To that. So that's 6 months.
Oh no, 9 months. 9 months.
Is it 9 months?
A season.
I thought it was 3.
Well, it's 3 months per season.
Right. So the first season is all automatic, right? Ain't season 1 just like the first part that you buy?
Oh, maybe.
And,
Okay.
And then 2 and 3. Yeah. So
co-op is 3 months. Forge is 6 months. That's the
So all together,
expected time.
So all together is 6 months, right? That's $90 in Game Pass. You know what I'm saying?
Technically, Forge will probably be part of the free-to-play component, but regardless,
It is.
The information that we have is 6 months, right? We got to go by what we have. We have 6 months, and 6 months is $90 of Game Pass. So they want you to spend $90 before you get a complete Halo in the first place, if you get it on Game Pass. That's why I've been imploring people to buy it outright. Don't get it on Game Pass because you're not going to get your money's worth. And on top of that, It's already overpriced from what you get. This thing should cost $29.99. To be honest, it really should cost $29.99 for what you're getting. You get a free to play.
How you know?
And all that. So
you haven't played the game.
Hold it. University, Xbox, man, we're not gonna do this. We're gonna go one at a time, and then we'll get our bars off like Thrash. You got anything else before Xbox? You didn't?
No, just $29.99, $39.99, something like that for something that's bare bones is what they got. That's what I got.
Sounds good to me. We'll get you back in here, bro. Because if you stick around and pay attention, I know you might have some more you want to say. So we'll get you back on here. All right, peace. All right, Xbox University, go ahead and go. I know you wanted to go behind Thrash so you could damage control. So what you got?
Okay. That's good. All I want to say to the legions of haters out there. This is all I want to say.
Okay.
For some reason, there's a lot of people that act like Game Pass invented the season pass or the free-to-play model or something like that. I'm like, you do know that these games were around before Game Pass, correct?
Yes, games as a service has been around for a minute.
And they're getting more and more prevalent, not because of Game Pass, because their games don't get on PlayStation, and they don't have a Game Pass equivalent. And PlayStation right now, we know with Deviation Games and stuff like that, they want to start some games as a service type model, which will be smart because, like I said, it's getting more expensive to create these games, and games like Fortnite and the rest of them have shown them that, hey, if you have a great game that can keep people entertained ongoing, that can create a lot of good money. PlayStation would prefer to get 100% of the profit instead of just 30%. So that would make sense for them. I'm not going to sit here and say, well, damn, PlayStation is ruining gaming because, look, they have 2 new games of the service games coming out, or a multiplayer game, or whatever the case may be. That makes no sense. And for people to be judging Halo based on some leaks, that also makes no sense because you haven't played the game. For all we know, the campaign could be 40 hours long. We don't know.
Okay. Fair enough.
And
so I'm going to cut you off right there.
Go ahead.
You'll have to come back because, again, I'm not doing those 3-hour spaces again.
No problem.
So I'm going to cut you off. But you can get back in after we start breaking things down. And I definitely want to address what you said. But like I'm not going to deviate. I'm going to stay on target. Nope, I'm going to stay on target. But I'll get to you, sir. I ain't forgot you. I'll get to you in a minute. Okay, we're going to get Enrique in, and then Hulk, we're going to try you one more time. Then we're going to go ahead. We already 15 minutes in, and I'm definitely trying to be conscious of the time. Enrique, you got the mic. What you got, sir? Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, the $60 price point's kind of interesting. Guys, you and Alex brought this up on BRAP, where presumably speak.
Well, hold on, Enrique. Yeah. Hold on. I don't want to talk. Yeah, you didn't get disconnected. I wanted you to until we get done setting it all up, and then come
all
in.
Right. With your okay. So all right. So then I'll wait to make that point then.
Okay. Yeah, we got.
All right. Just mute me then.
No, I'm gonna remove you, and then I'll get you back in because I'm trying to remove the likelihood that it crashed on me again. Okay, Hulk, we're gonna give you one last shot to get in before we get started. What you got, sir? Hulk Stan, you on the mic. What you got? All right, Hulk, we going in 5,
Yo,
4.
hello.
All right, there you go. What up? What you got,
all right,
man?
So, well, first off, what's going on, everybody?
What up,
having a good day, your last day of vacation. But
oh man, and you spending your last day on vacation kicking it with console?
I'm currently in the middle of Iki Island right now. You know, I just got that monkey helmet. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. All right, what you got for us?
So I am not as versed in the industry as a lot of people that are, speaking here today. But I did want to say, just from a consumer standpoint, there was only going to be 2 things that was going to make me buy a Series X. It was going to be Halo Infinite or and I'm going way back, a remastered or a reboot of Jade Empire. I am so salty that I never got to play that game.
Okay.
And from a consumer standpoint, Halo Infinite is not making me want to buy an Xbox. I want to buy the and like, I don't know, like give the game to my dog. You know what I mean? Or something like that.
Wow.
But
Wow. So you coming in shots fired.
It doesn't look like a good game to me.
Xbox University
I never
right
played any of these Halos.
Well, hold on. Xbox University was right on that part. We haven't seen it, and like we it's difficult to speak on stuff that you haven't played or haven't seen. So that's
based on what I've seen. If you compare the hype and what it's looking like compared to what was it? There was the bomb apparently, Halo 2, that everybody loved.
Yeah, everybody got love for Halo 2
and 3. And it's not the same, because I remember playing Call of Duty and then hearing all these weirdos come to school talking about Halo, and they kind of like facade. They had this elite in them, like Halo was killing everything, and I always felt like I was left out. But now I don't feel like I missed anything.
I mean, well, so on that tip, I'm gonna have to let you go, Hulk, because we need to get started. But you should go play the Master Chief Collection. You could get that free on Game. Well, not free, but it's included in Game Pass. Man, there's a lot of good Halo to be played if you really just want to like get an Xbox and get caught up on what's what. Or you can just use your phone and stream it. You know, if you play, got Game Pass Ultimate, you can stream to your phone. There's all types.
I'm gonna watch everything on YouTube before I give them any money.
All right, bro. All right, peace. Okay, so we got Leviathan in here, and a lot of y'all don't know. Some of y'all do. I'll get this wrong every time, but he's at least like top 50 in the world in Halo. Lev, what is the actual number?
Top 500. But yeah.
Top. Okay, yeah. Man, I get that wrong. Okay, Leviathan is top 500 in the world with Halo. And like he has been for many years. Halo is what he does. And he has been in the Halo community since like forever. But y'all got to keep in mind, right? Like there are two, and Lev, if I go off key, man, just correct me and let me know. Yeah, don't let me misinform the people. If I say something wrong, man, jump in and correct it right away. But the thing is that there are two Halo communities. Well, there is the actual multiplayer Halo community and all the mechanics and everything that goes into making sure the multiplayer is top notch. Because y'all know for years, there was no multiplayer conversation where you mentioned Halo. Halo, for a while, was the undisputed king of competitive multiplayer gaming. Just end of story. Certain things happen, things switch hands, certain transitions, so on and so forth. Eventually, the community was not really split, but there was more like the campaign community versus the multiplayer community, because when you give players certain abilities and advantages in the campaign, then that impacts the balance of the multiplayer. And Lev can talk to that if he chooses to. There's like a whole thing around co-op, or I'm not co-op, I'm sorry, campaign abilities being affecting things in the multiplayer world. So when I say Lev is a strong member of the Halo community, I mean the Halo multiplayer community, the competitive multiplayer community. And it is a difficult thing to balance to get a game right for the single player or the co-op versus the freestyling multiplayer with maps and abilities and the amount of balance and tweaking that has to happen. So Lev, I'm going to let you take it away, man, coming from a Halo expert. We just want opinion on all of this stuff with Halo. The delay is reasonable, not reasonable, the multiplayer aspect, the value, the price, all of that stuff, man. Just speak your piece to the gamers about Halo as you see it, Halo Infinite.
Okay, so for starters, there's like the two main communities of campaign player, but it's actually more divided than that in terms of the multiplayer side. There's like 5 different like subsects of multiplayer community, and they all hate each other basically. and, yeah.
Okay.
Like there's a whole controversial debate for Halo for the past decade to remove sprint. A lot of the core older fans want sprint removed from Halo, and people from Halo Reach onwards want sprint to stay in. And like that's just the biggest dividing factor. Like you will find like death threats on this one. Like it gets serious on that. And so
well, I thought that the older community wanted sprint, or not necessarily sprint, but the ability to change speeds. I thought they did it in the first place because there was a big outcry for that. Is that not true?
No. So to the history of the game, but back in the day, Bungie always cared about campaign over multiplayer, and they were looking at ways to improve on their campaign experience. So they decided to introduce armor abilities in Halo Reach, which were different abilities like a jetpack, a sprint button, ways to like evolve Halo's gameplay. And for the campaign, it was pretty fine. But what it did to the multiplayer was so horribly bad that like Halo Reach is still one of the most hated Halo games, like universally. From like the core Halo fan base, because the abilities damaged gameplay loop, like irreversibly damaged it. And then 343 committed to that design because you know that's what Bungie's doing. Let's follow what Bungie wanted to do. So they did it for Halo 4, 2 games in a row. Then in Halo 5 they tried to revert some of those changes, but they didn't want to fully go back to classic Halo. And this also caused another fork in the Halo community, because now these are reduced and toned down. There's more balance, but it still changes the level design, the combat loop. All these things are changed. So now 343 had to pivot after Halo 5, because Halo 6 was still going down that direction. So they had to go right back into pre-production for Halo 6. In 2015. Usually this is not a good thing to do for a game. Is usually you do pre-production, and then once you finish your last game, you go into production. But they had to reverse course because they were going in the wrong direction. That's a big component of why Halo Infinite took so long. They continued to support content, and then around 2018, they told us that now they were moving the Halo 5 team over to Halo Infinite because they were starting to enter production for this game. So that's actually how long the game's been in full production with the full staff. And that leads to obvious consequences and expectations from the community of how big the game needs to be. And that's just how you end up with the issues Halo Infinite had that led to a delay.
Okay, Lev, I got 2 questions for you based on what you said. 2 specific questions. One, is Halo Infinite set out to please the multiplayer community or the campaign community? And if they want to try to do both, if they're trying to be community agnostic and please everyone, is that even possible?
So I gave my suggestions back in 2015 of how they can do their best to please both, which was to convert. So Halo 3 had an equipment-based system. That's where the armor abilities came from. And in Halo 3's gameplay loop, they were set on the map. You didn't spawn with them. So then the developers could design to not include all the abilities. The developers could decide this ability just doesn't work for the gameplay and just get rid of it. That actually happened to Halo 3. At launch, Bungie removed several map pickups for the player because it just made the gameplay unenjoyable. And this gave them more flexibility. So they went in that direction with Halo Infinite, with the equipment-based system. They are trying to appease the campaign community. They're trying to appease both the no-sprint and sprint communities of Halo, which is a hard task, but I think they're doing pretty good on that, and it's enough. So here's the problem with the no-sprint community. To fully appease them, you would have to take away sprint, right? But if you did that on Halo 5's maps, they're not designed around it. There's the game design.
Right.
Because sprint has such a dramatic impact on Halo 5's level design, it's just not feasible. I've been testing for years in custom games, trying to find something that just never feels right. It never would satisfy that community. In Halo Infinite, they've reduced it to a level that I viably think they could remove it for a classic modes and playlist to appease that community fully, and this gives them more flexibility down the line for abilities, because the classic community can always play their classic modes. So
interesting.
They set out to actually appease all the communities and try to mitigate the amount of like harassment that out of this game. It's ambitious. I didn't think it would be possible. It might still not be, because obviously we haven't seen the final product. It's a very difficult to appease. Like, that'd be like someone asking for God of War to be a free-to-play battle royale first-person shooter, and then another person being like, well, I just want God of War Ragnarok to just be what God of War 2018 did, and an evolution of that. And it's like, these are just incompatible, or like it appears incompatible.
It doesn't appear incompatible, it is incompatible. So then, in your opinion, Lev, can they appease everyone? I know you just hedged just then, but like, give me a straight answer. Do you think Halo Infinite can appease everyone?
No. I know where the two portions of the community that will be upset, and there's just, right now they haven't been upset because they haven't experienced the game enough. But the two portions of the community that are going to get upset about this game are the people that want a more co-op focused Halo, like Halo Reach 4 and 5 were, and less of Bungie style Halo level design, which was single player focused with 1, 2, and 3. That community is likely not going to get satisfied. Maybe they can pull it off, but from a game design perspective, it's not going to translate well to the base Xbox One. Because the large open environment is going to be good for an enjoyable experience. Series X could be fine, Series S could be fine because of the SSD. The SSD can help mitigate the on a hard drive. It's just not. So you're going to have to store split screen 4-player co-op all in your memory on a base Xbox One.
No good.
Yeah.
No, and so that's probably why the co-op is pushed back, for having to deal with the older hardware.
Yeah, because they have to figure out, because there's ways you can mitigate it by making the co-op experience completely unenjoyable, but I don't think they necessarily want to do that.
Nobody wants that.
Yeah, so personally, I would say just bite the bullet and make it on xCloud. Because think about it, who would be playing 4-player split screen co-op? Do you think that's going to be necessarily a group of friends that like super care about their latency, super care about the resolution? It's the base Xbox One. They're just playing to have a good time. So all the issues of xCloud maybe wouldn't be as bad in that kind of setting. That's a
good point. But it wouldn't even need to be cloud-based, because like the split screen is for couch co-op, right? And if they're going cloud-based, they don't even need to be couch co-op. They can be wherever they would normally be at, right?
Yeah, so they support support both split screen and online co-op. That's what they've stated they're doing. That's what they're still committed to doing. But if you want to play with your friends, that's a thing. Halo 5, they got a huge backlash. Halo 5 had co-op, but not the split screen kind, because at the time, the Xbox One didn't have DirectX 12, so they were CPU more bottlenecked. They were targeting a 60 FPS target. It was just not viable for them to make a split screen co-op back then. And it was the first thing they announced for Halo Infinite, because they got a lot of backlash, a lot of death threats over it, because to some people this completely ruined...
Death threats?
Yeah. Because, so think about this. If this is your favorite game franchise, and then they make such an horrific cut to your experience, like if you're doing this with your friends or your family, and then they just strip that away. Now you have to buy another Xbox One to be able to have that kind of experience.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
right,
you'd be fucking pissed, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I can see the outrage behind that. Right. Okay.
Yeah, so
fair enough.
So the conscious choice that we're going to try to get 4 players split screen working on a base Xbox One. That was the first thing they announced for this game. And it's not at launch. I have a feeling that they were just going to not have it at an enjoyable state last year. They were just going to bite the bullet on it and just say, well, we delivered. Even if it's unfun.
Right, even if it's trash.
Yeah.
Right, at least we did it. We got it out there. Okay, so Dope Boy want to come in. He want to holler at you, Lev. So, but I got one more question for you, Lev, before I get Dope Boy in here. Do you think the Halo that has been presented to us, again, we don't know the full picture, but what has been presented to us right now, do you think that experience is worth $60?
Well, that comes down to like a subjective opinion, because if you,
I'm asking your opinion.
Yeah, for my personal opinion, what I've seen and what I look and experience, I still play Halo 1, so graphics don't bother me as much, and any technical issues are probably fine for me. So for me personally, a $60 price tag would be fine for me. I can't force anybody to see it as a $60 price tag if it doesn't look like it has value to you. I will be paying $60 unless something Cyberpunk 2077 levels comes. The game is unplayable at launch.
Okay, so it's on Steam. So right now, if you go look on Steam, Halo is free, and the campaign is $60 DLC. And the whole idea that you have DLC that costs the amount of a regular game, I got a lot to say about that. Give me a few more minutes. We're about to get that teed up. But Dope Boy want to holler at you because he says you capping Dope Boy. This is going to be a nice civil conversation.
Yo,
Anybody
give me a quick second there, because
I
I got something right now, but I'll let you guys speak real quick. I want him to continue.
Oh, okay. Well, we about to move on, Dope Boy. He explained the game, how it is, why it is how it is, the challenges that they have to deal with, and then in the case y'all wasn't paying attention, like he's explaining the need for the delay, the problems that they're dealing with, and like why it's going to take longer to get this stuff squared
Well,
away.
let me say this. Some of the stuff that he said about like Xbox One and some of the design issues with the co-op and the open world nature of the game, it's capped. Because you have other games that did the same thing on Xbox One. Great example, Destiny 1.
Okay, hold on, Dope Boy, let me stop you right there. So that is the thing. I don't think the average gamer understands just how big the Halo maps are compared to other games. And
yeah, but you have other games that have more happening in the map as well, and they have more players than 4 players spawning in, dying, spawning, and exploring areas.
But that is not. So again, if me, you, Kid Smooth, and Old Man Logan are in the same room playing on a TV, split screen, 4-player split screen, what he is saying is that the size of the Halo maps, the geometry,
and being
the
rendered.
design,
Okay, all right.
Xbox One would have to hold all 4 of those in memory for each one of us, completely different, because we are 4-player couch.
All right. So
co-op.
besides the split screen point, right? He talked about how.
Well, I think that's
that's the main. He also said a couple of other things in there that wasn't necessarily true, or if he was a quote unquote Halo expert, as you explained in the beginning, he would understand these things, right?
Whoa, why is Venom? Why the Venom?
Because you have a lot of people in here. Some people might be familiar with the Halo franchise, some people might not. And if they're just listening to what he's saying verbatim, they're not taking it at face value, or they're going to say facts. Like he said that Bungie was more of a campaign than multiplayer. That's a lie. There's plenty of vid docs from Bungie explaining their philosophy on how they made their multiplayer games. And then to assume that there's a split between campaign and multiplayer fans, like there's no real divide.
Hold on, Doughboy, hold on. A little bit different. So I hear you, and y'all know I'm all about the smoke, but we're gonna try to do this a little bit different today. If he is mistaken and you want to challenge a point, then don't say like he lying or something. Because lying means that he is deliberately.
It's not true.
Sure, but that could just be an oversight, or he made a mistake. Right? Yeah. So Leviathan, I'm gonna let you and Dope Boy, speak it out respectfully, civilly, and then I'm just gonna sit off to the side and then hope y'all can get this resolved peacefully.
Okay, so if you actually following the actual history of Halo, you would know that Halo 1 scrapped its entire multiplayer component 4 months before launch, and they basically just stitched it back together last minute. Halo 2 cut its main multiplayer mode called War, and went with basically a copy-paste of Halo 1. If you've seen the alpha test of the game, they literally took Halo 1 and its ass, put it in these maps that they were just prototyping, and released it as an alpha test, and then basically rushed the game to the finish line because the multiplayer that they did have an idea for, they had this release, and they put a bunch of that resources back into the campaign, and then by Halo 3, they focused more on the multiplayer component, specifically because Joe Staten left, which he was the writer, after the Halo 2 burnout. So the campaign was coming together pretty rushed in terms of narrative exposition. Like, if you know the core taking scenes in Halo 3, those are injections into the story because the story didn't exactly flow together because they were just building random levels. They needed a little more to make the story cohesive. And then in Halo Reach, they literally reused the campaign maps in multiplayer to relieve some of their crunch pressure that they had to deal with. Then in Destiny 1, they put a far greater emphasis on story and the PvE experience of Destiny. Destiny 2, they pivoted back towards PvP at Activision's request because they wanted a Call of Duty competitor. Once it didn't get there, they basically let Bungie go.
You said they wanted a Call of Duty competitor?
Yes, they wanted something.
They both were under the same umbrella. They wanted both to thrive together. So that's misinformation number one. They didn't want a Call of Duty competitor. They wanted another IP to sell next to Call of Duty. Two, Activision didn't let go of Bungie. Bungie left to go independent. That's another thing as well.
You sure about that?
You don't have all the facts right there.
That second one is not true. Like, Bungie can't just leave Activision, right? Like that. That's not the way that contract works.
Yeah,
And
they had
that's
several
what
years
They
left.
weren't let go. To say that they got let go is not true.
Well, they did not
They didn't get
hit.
dropped off.
They did not hit their microtransaction targets because they did not have a large enough PvP experience to garner continual engagement. That's basically what it was. And then,
According to who? Because they're selling season passes and they're selling DLCs like cakes.
yes, but that's once they pivoted back to PvE. I don't know if you played Destiny 2 in year 1.
I do play Destiny. Look at my Steam profile. 100 plus hours in Destiny on Steam. Like 30 days on Xbox. No, I've been there. And it's the same thing with Halo as well. Now you said that you said that Bungie focused more on campaign than multiplayer. If you look at the philosophy of the Halo multiplayer, all the way since Halo 2 up until now, they've been better at making multiplayer games than 343, and that's a fact. And
I think
that
what he's saying. Hold on, Doughboy. I think what he's saying. I think we're getting lost in semantics here.
Yes, he is getting lost in semantics. I don't know if he debates them like crazy radicals, but
I don't debate crazy radicals. You just threw a lot of stuff out there that wasn't true.
Hours, Doughboy, that was spent on the single player versus the multiplayer in Halo 2 and 3. The single player versus the multiplayer. The amount of effort and resources that went into the single player was way more than the multiplayer, and they ended up in multiplayer stuff, and it was not as fleshed out as the single player for different reasons.
But the multiplayer in those games were fleshed out, though. That's the thing. They were fleshed out experiences that were complete.
So what he's saying is when they did Halo 2, they didn't do a fresh new multiplayer for Halo 2. They took the multiplayer from Halo 1.
I can give you the reason why they did that. He's not explaining it.
He's not challenging that. No, all he is trying to say is more time was spent on single player and less resources on multiplayer. He's not saying the multiplayer.
He's not giving you the reason.
He's not saying why.
Because multiplayer is not the main driver of video games in 2004. Very few games are multiplayer-focused experiences.
Explain why Halo 2 multiplayer was reused assets from Halo 1. If you can give me the answer, I'll leave you alone.
Because at that point in time, they put emphasis on their war game mode in the campaign, and then they had to scrap a good portion of their work in the game engine. So they had to pivot back. Because fundamentally...
Okay, wait, hold on. No, y'all gonna have to do this a different time, though, boy.
Okay,
I appreciate the content, but we getting off the subject, man.
He can't give the real reason.
All right, well, we're gonna get Thrash in here, and then because he working. Hey, Enrique, you next, then you Xbox, and then Phil. But we let Thrash jump in because he at work and he driving the truck and all that stuff. So that's why we moving him ahead of the line. All right,
man. Thank you, man. I'll go more in depth later on tonight, man. Because this,
man. Y'all trying to get him on? Like, you got your channel, and I'm sure he'll come to Planet Xbox. Like, Lev is not scared of the smoke at all.
I know he's not scared of the smoke.
Okay, bet. All right, bro.
All right, man. Enjoy the rest of your day. All right.
You too, bro.
How did we get to the history?
Thrash, what's up?
Man, how we get to the history of Halo? How? Look, I don't care.
The man is explaining.
I don't care. We have what we have. You know, like, none of it matters. We have only what we have. We cannot be sitting here talking about what Bungie was doing. You know, I don't care. I don't care. Right now, we have a fucking single player game that is naked as fuck. And then we have a free-to-play game with no XP. The past doesn't matter. The maps be...
We haven't got to that yet. We about to get to that right now. So stick around.
My bad. I just want to say, what are y'all talking about? Y'all wasting this man's time. He said an hour. Like, what are y'all doing?
All right, stick around, Thrash. you know you got a reputation for rage quitting the stream, man.
I'm not. I'm ready now. I'm calm. I'm at work today. I'm ready now. All right, go ahead, y'all. Go ahead.
All right, that's what's up. All right, so mute yourself, Thrash. All right, bet. So, Lev, so you say, in your opinion, you think it's worth the $60 as downloadable content, DLC, but the way that they're handling the Battle Pass XP as a long player, tell me your thoughts on that, sir.
Yeah, so I kind of feel bad for 343 on this one, because I was shocked that he said about this, considering it's been in Master Chief Collection since Season 2.
Wait, so you don't think this is a big deal?
Well, it's a big deal, but for a different reason. It's not bad for me because of the type of gamer I am, but obviously bad for a more casual player that isn't already playing Master Chief Collection. So, for Master Chief Collection Season 1, they used an XP-based system for their Season Pass that they were doing. They were giving it for free, obviously, because they want to test out and figure out what's the best model for Halo Infinite. And they got some backlash that people wanted to go back to a more challenge-based system, and they don't like XP. I'm not a fan of XP-based systems in my first-person shooters. A lot of the hardcore Halo fans want to go back to Halo 3's challenge-based system. So in Season 2 of the Master Chief Collection, they pivoted to do weekly and daily challenges and moved away from the XP-based system. And the Master Chief Collections worked that way since Season 2. And they got positive reception from that. So
you're
all the consumers,
that this is a direct result of fan feedback.
Yes. If the consumers are signaling to them that this is the direction.
I don't mean to cut in, but real quick. That's what I want to say in the first place. But I forgot. And I'll never speak again. I promise you. I'll never say anything.
No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
But that's one thing I have a problem with. If 343 is listening to anybody on what they should do with their game, then everybody on that staff should be fired immediately. Nobody. And I do mean nobody should listen to the customer on what product they want to build. It's impossible. Listen. It's impossible to satisfy millions of people. It's impossible. So go with what you feel like you should focus on and let it be that. You don't see Neil Druckmann talking to motherfuckers talking about what should I do with The Last of Us 3. You don't see nobody asking about God of War. Or nobody asking about Ratchet, because you got to go with the vision that you had. You know what I'm saying? You got to go with the vision that you have. If you don't, and you try to satisfy everybody, it's going to be impossible. So if that's what they did, everyone should be fired on there. I wouldn't be listening to none of these Halo nerds. Be like, fuck y'all, nigga, it's a new generation.
All right, so that's all right. So I hear what you're saying, but that's more for like a single player narrative driven thing where you have a vision and a story and a universe mapped out. When you dealing with competitive multiplayer,
you should have all that shit mapped out.
You would be
ready to go.
How about
you should
I
have
can
a plan.
speak about this?
What are they doing? They making the game without a plan?
No, it's not that, but they're gonna have to fine tune and tweak. Go ahead, Lev. I'm gonna stand back and let the gamer speak.
So they shouldn't directly just take what consumers say blindly. A perfect example of this. This is a perfect example from, I believe, Wᴇʟᴜ Enemy Territory. Sorry, I stuttered there. Where the developers were testing multiplayer balance in that game, and they found that consumers were giving their playtest feedback, and it was coming back that one of the SMGs was better. It was the Thompson submachine gun, I'm pretty sure, that was better than the MP40 in that game.
Okay.
Here's the problem with this, though. The weapons use the exact same stats. So, and all the weapons of both factions were using the same stats. There's like no balancing difference there.
So why was one better than the other? That makes no sense.
So obviously, a typical developer will say, oh, you need to buff one gun or nerf the other. But they couldn't understand that, so they looked at the data, and they found that the people using the Thompson were performing better. So like, it isn't just like, oh, I thought I was doing better just because of anecdotal evidence. Like, there was actual tangible evidence. And they looked through everything, and they found it wasn't the balance of the gun, it was the gun sound. The Thompson had a beefier, punchier sound, so people thought it was hitting harder, so they felt more confident using it, so they performed better. So if they listened to the feedback directly, they would have just nerfed the Thompson or buffed the MP40, but that's not what the problem was. So they fixed that issue.
Okay.
So like, that's kind of the thing, is they have to understand the consumer's not entirely accurate what there's...
Right. That's a good point.
They're very accurate, and one they...
So you're saying that this is why Halo is being fucked when it launches? I mean, nigga, what did this got to do with Halo?
Wait. What he's saying is that they have to... The consumer's not giving orders, and then they just following orders from the consumer, but they definitely have to take the feedback in from the consumers. Have a fan base that they're trying to appease. They still have to gather that feedback and use it. I think that's all he's trying to say.
Right, but I mean, what fans are they talking about? Like, he's saying that Infinite is they're trying to please all these different gamers, right? That's what he said.
Yeah.
So if that's what they're doing, I mean, who's going in there and testing? Like, who are they?
So,
like, who's testing?
Can I speak? So there's a difference.
So that was at me, Thrash. That was at me, bro, not you.
Yeah. So there's two different things. There's what Halo Infinite is doing and what Halo Infinite should be doing, and we need to distinguish those two. Is when I'm talking about the Wᴇʟᴜ example, they shouldn't directly follow the feedback. That's what they should be doing, but they've been showing signs of they're just literally following the feedback that they're getting presented by the community. And that's why they have the no XP system, because the fans said it was fine, and the XP system, so there's still an XP number that goes up in Master Chief Collection, but it doesn't unlock anything. It does nothing for progression. It just gets you like a chevron, basically. Like, it's basically a placebo. So none of these fans found this an issue because they saw a number going up that represented XP, even though it has no impact anymore on the actual unlock system. So when Halo Infinite doesn't have that...
How were they gathering that XP then? Was it by matches? Was it just by challenges? Like, what? How was that number going up, and why can't they just do the same thing now if it's just cosmetic?
Well, so it was just a progression system that was deprecated from previously, where you would perform a certain way. Every FPS game has it. That's what Master Chief Collection was using. However, they were not aware that fans were believing it worked, because once they made Halo and they got rid of the deprecated, because like, obviously you don't need to have some old shit still running around in your new game that you're not using. So
fair enough.
So now that there's no XP symbol placebo going on, the consumers off about it. So now the question is, do you put in a placebo because it was working before, but now maybe the fans will be aware that, hey, it's not doing anything. As much as I prefer a system that is challenge-oriented, because I believe in more accomplishment-based instead of participation-based, which is what XP systems gravitate towards, I look at it from the whole picture. Is, although I will be worse off, the other people that will play Halo will be better off, and that will be better for me, long run, because obviously I want this style of game to succeed. So I'm willing to concede and make a downgrade to my gameplay experience, knowing long run it might lead to a better experience for me overall, if that makes sense on the whole thing.
That does
So
make sense, but it sounds
overall,
like
is it
damage
worth the
control.
price? Is it worth the price? Overall, is it worth 59.99 for the campaign only of this game, which used to come with all the multiplayer shits and all this extra shit, all the regular multiplayer? Is this worth 59.99? Is it worth that price? That's the question. Fuck the stories. Fuck Wolfenstein. I get what you're saying. Whatever. What is it worth, bro? That's all I'm at.
Well, it depends on you as a consumer. I'm not going to force you to.
Please answer the question, Leviathan. Please, God. Please, Jesus. For the Lord.
He did.
Yeah, I would pay $60 for it. Just point blank.
Okay, so it's worth that price to you. Okay, cool. That's all the fuck I want to thank you. Thank you, sir.
I would not. So Thrashman, you're gonna be on the same level here because I would not pay that much. I agree with Oh No, It's Alex, what he said on Brap's podcast. At the end of the day, we are giving them a complete $60, and I would like a complete game. It's not like I'm giving them $14 a day and then $17 2 weeks from now. You know how we do in the hood, man. Hey, bro, let me get a dub today, man. I get you 10 back next week, and I get your other salt buck the week after that. This ain't no payment plan, right? Like this is, they want all of my money up front. I expect all of the game up front. It's not that difficult to comprehend. And a lot.
Oh, my bad. Go one thing before I go. One thing. I just have a question. Just a question for you, even. Do we know if the campaign is complete to begin with, or is it going to be like, I'm hearing it's like Destiny. From listening to the developers, they said it was like Destiny. Is this confirmed, or is this going to be a full on campaign that we usually pay 50, 69 or 59 for?
I don't know.
What I'm saying?
I don't
so
know
it's just, is it going to be games as a service on top of games as a service, like the multiplayer free to play games as a service, and the campaign is going to be games as a service? That'll be the first game to have everything about games as a service in separate different games as a service. It's like the biggest service game ever created, if that's the case. Real shit. It's breaking records.
That's true. I don't know any details on that. I just know that. So I don't believe in that games as a service excuse, because games as a service, what it is supposed to mean. Now I know people manipulate it, right? Like there will be publishers that manipulate it, and we have seen poor implementations of it. But we have also seen good implementations of it. A good implementation of games as a service, they give you a complete game from day one, and then they increase and add to that, that firm foundation that they already have. They don't give you pieces and then you end up with the complete game over time. That's when it's done wrong. When it is done correctly, they give you the complete game day one, but then they keep you engaged and keep just adding more and more content. World of Warcraft, EverQuest. There are plenty of examples of games as a service done correctly. Just because your games as a service doesn't mean that you're missing content. What really happens with games as a service is they have the whole package for you, and then, well, most of y'all know this on this stream anyway, there's this concept called the end game. But all the stuff that leads to the end game is complete. And then they have different experiences for you once you reach end game and you higher level, and they have better and different challenges for you to do to keep leveling up. They may raise the level cap, and you can go do more missions and quest items specific to your class or whatever. But the point is, they're not tacking on the basics later. They are focusing on the end game later. But that core gameplay is there and it is complete. So games as a service is not a synonym for games half done. Based on the recent stuff from these publishers, that's what gamers are starting to feel like, but that's not really what service is. They're giving it a bad name. I know, there was a question out there, Lev, for you, which was, do we know about the campaign? Lev, is anything confirmed about the campaign?
Yeah, and why are you automatically dedicating your $60 to this shit if you don't even know if it might be 3 chapters of campaign? My bad.
Well, for starters, I like Halo's core gameplay loop, and based off of the fact that they took in heavy inspiration from Halo Combat Evolved, which is my favorite campaign, I'm looking at it right now, and I'm saying, okay, it looks decent enough for me, and I want to signal to Xbox that I support this type of game, because I obviously don't want to have this type of game go away, because we're running out of options. Quite frankly, if you're looking for this type of experience, you basically get very little options. You got Doom, which is now Xbox. Maybe you got Wolfenstein, now Xbox. Perfect Dark's coming back, that can sort of give that experience, also Xbox. Unreal Tournament could come back, but the team in charge of that got moved over to Fortnite, so that's pretty dead. Time Splitters is coming back, but it's an indie team. I hope it does well. I'm going to support the game, but I'm very aware that at that kind of scale, there's limits to what that game's going to be capable of doing. So I don't really get much of a choice in terms of my gameplay experience, because if I don't support the game, long run, I'm not going to have games. I've just come to terms with that.
Are you getting it on Game Pass? Are you getting on Game Pass, or are you paying your own money?
I'm paying my own money. I don't have Game Pass.
Oh, okay, good man then. Okay, you support, do what you do. I mean,
that's
you
a
had
good
it.
answer. He's speaking from a fan, but as an average consumer, Lev, would you say? I mean, again, this is just opinion. We know you can't speak for the consumer. In your opinion, the average consumer that doesn't have that same sort of loyalty to the Halo gameplay loop, what would you say for them?
Well, I'd say for starters, they need to show more campaign gameplay. And I'd also recommend wait for reviews and specific viewer that you believe is going to give you a fair shake of the game, that isn't going to be someone like me who's just going to enjoy the game because it's the kind of game I like. Someone that actually fits your taste as a consumer. Does that make sense?
Okay. Fair answer. Okay, Enrique, what you got for us, man? Because we getting on an hour. I'm gonna get like
I know.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 people requested, and then so we gonna speak our piece, Enrique. Then we gonna get them six people in. They can ask questions for Leviathan, and then we gonna bounce. Because again, these 3-hour streams.
Yeah, I know you got to take a nap, man. So I get it. Almost nap time for you.
Shut up, hater.
No, by the way, great conversations, man. Always a pleasure mixing up with Leviathan. And real quick, so the $60 thing, you mentioned it. We talked about it on BRAP. After the BRAP show Wednesday, I thought a little bit more about it, and I don't think it's worth the $60, man. I really don't. It's
well, it's free.
Halo, the Halo multi. Yeah.
Well, again, wait. Let me be clear. On Steam, I don't know how it's going to ultimately going to be. We don't want to lie on Halo or Microsoft. On Steam, Halo Infinite is free, and the campaign is $60.
That's correct. Yeah, that's what it's showing right now. Yeah. So
so given that, then is this DLC worth $60? And the whole issue of Ghost of Tsushima DLC, $10 upgrades and all of this stuff. I'm just curious why there is a mismatch in this cry for value, because it seems like people adjust what value means. There's only one person, I call him the most honest bot we got. I think Gaming Addict is the only person that will.
I think so too.
But there are other people in this community. You see them morph and change. They like water. They're like Bruce Lee.
What code?
Like water. They change directions based on whatever is going on with Microsoft, and they can directly contradict something they said yesterday.
Yeah.
They're not going to care. They're going to switch the narrative up. So the concern is $60 DLC that's missing a major component of the campaign, and all of this stuff is $60. It's full price, but it's not full feature.
Yes,
in my opinion.
Yeah.
So that is the question. Like, how do you feel about that?
I agree.
Or do you even agree with that? Do you think that's
wrong? No, I actually agree with you. I think that, previous Halo iterations where it had multiplayer and campaign and would charge full retail. Now I understand, like I think someone earlier said, "Oh, you haven't played the game, so you really can't say." I get that point. Like, but if you look at the campaign historically for Halo, they've been about 6 to 9 hours, maybe 10 hours, right, of gameplay, of campaign gameplay. Now you're taking away some replay value, maybe with the co-op campaign. You're not having things like Forge; it takes away from that too. So I don't think. I think with the multiplayer being free and this game kind of seamlessly going games as a service, why not just offer the whole thing up for free at this point, right? Oh
man, that's not financially viable. No way would they do
Microsoft,
that.
It's $1 billion company. That's what people keep telling me, Code. They got all the money.
Well, I mean, so that's the thing with the fans versus Xbox again too. And I didn't give my little disclaimer because this is my standard disclaimer. I personally think a lot of the moves that Xbox is doing are. I think Xbox, the leadership, should focus on power, should focus on games, should focus on acquisitions, should focus on price, the Series S, all of that stuff. I think that is great from the leadership. My problem is these bots that take everything that leadership says and distorts it and exaggerates it beyond any recognition, and then stuff like this happens and it blows up in their faces. Microsoft never ever once said that we want to focus on giving you options to enjoy gaming at our expense and we don't want to make our money back.
They never said
that. So of course Microsoft is going to do ways or find ways to make money off of the Xbox division. Of course they are. And it is ridiculous for any gamer or rational adult to think otherwise. However, these bots have twisted it so much that Microsoft is out here looking for the gamer's best interest, and they're going to do all they can to help the poor little struggling gamers, and they're giving you all these choices, and Microsoft first-party games is just going to be the friendliest, the most price-friendly games there is. And already now we have evidence that, I mean, if you look at Flight Simulator, which I'm not going to because, again, I have said I'm not going to attack Flight Simulator, so I'm not seeing Flight Simulator.
It's mad expensive.
Cheap. You have a landing strip in Flight Simulator that costs more than the entire Ghost of Tsushima DLC plus PS5 upgrade combined. You have a $60 for a campaign that's missing features, but all of these same people, they have no problem that this is still value and that you shouldn't be paying $60 for incomplete games. And they twist a narrative all around back and forth. And I'm just asking the question, do you agree that I'm looking at it correctly? And if I am, do you agree with me? And if I'm not, then what's your take?
No, Code, I do agree with you, man. But I also say this to kind of clarify something about the $60. If this game releases campaign-wise, traditionally speaking, 6 to 9 hours of campaign at $60 an hour, overpriced. And I think another reason why you're not seeing a lot of people discuss this is because most people are saying, well, this game's in Game Pass, and Game Pass is free, or it's $1, or it's $15 a month, whatever the case is. And to your point on Wednesday, you mentioned, well, that's not true.
That's not true. Most people are.
That's exactly. Yeah, no, and you mentioned that on Wednesday. That I think you said maybe less than half the is actually on Game Pass.
Less than half of Xbox, less than half of the console sold is in Game Pass. So it's not even a third. Let's just say a third. It's a third of gamers on Game Pass. So that means 2/3 of the Xbox fan base does not have Game Pass. And so you can't use that as an excuse to be like, okay, well, let's just look the other way. Let's have this value conversation. Is this value or not? And as Mansa, when he came on the other day for the Skyrim Spaces, he was very clear. A lot of times the DLC is not included in Game Pass. You'll actually end up having to pay for some DLC. They haven't specified what DLC you have to pay for, and you don't. But I got Flight Simulator in Game Pass, and there's plenty of DLC that I have to pay for, which is why I'm saying on Steam, we don't know how it's going to actually be in the Xbox store, and it may change and be updated on Steam. This might just be like some pre-release stuff because it's early, but on Steam, the campaign is listed as DLC. Yeah. The Halo Infinite is listed as free. The campaign is $60 DLC. Therefore, it is possible, we don't know, it's just possible, that Game Pass users get Halo Infinite free, and the DLC campaign they still have to pay for, and so you may not get it free in Game Pass. Like, do we know? Has that question been answered?
I don't, not that, I mean, my assumption is that...
Yeah, it's going to be in Game Pass. The reason why it's labeled a DLC in Steam is because from a packaging perspective, you can't really put two games in the exact same package. You can bundle two separate games, but they want to list Halo Infinite as one product.
Gotcha.
Right, and they want it under...
So they have to put it in there as a DLC. Now, that doesn't mean...
So when they go to the Halo Infinite page, there's just one Steam page, and then all of the other stuff. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so that's the reason why that's there. But that doesn't say anything about if they might do future expansions down the line, which they'll most likely do.
The sticks. Hold on real quick. Get on the sticks. I'm adding you. I just added you, but then it looked like you dropped. So get on the sticks, then Xbox University, then Darkest Hero. I mean, he be dropping bars. Then Jacob, or Upper Room AK, and then Phil Miyamoto.
That's funny.
All right. And then Video Game Console 8, and then we're going to be out of here. Again, we're not doing these 2 and 3 hour spaces no more. So, Enrique, go ahead and wrap up, and then we're going to get...
No. So, like I said, I agree with you, Code. Now, if the campaign launches with a very long campaign, then different conversation, you know. But I do want to just talk about the multiplayer, the XP, real quick, about, you know, the participation trophy, more or less. A lot of free to play games or a lot of first person shooters do have that, where you gain XP just for match completion. I'm not one of those guys that likes to do challenges because I just don't have the time nor the patience to want. I mean, it depends. Well, it depends on the challenge, but I'm not challenge hunting all the time. You know, sometimes I just want to get on, enjoy a game with my friends, and get...
Man, when I was in the division, every day I got my dailies in and my weeklies. Man,
I used to do that on Destiny, man, and I just didn't have the time to do it anymore. So for me, different problem. It's a Brad problem.
Well,
it's a Brad problem. I don't have the time to do it, but I like having the option of getting match XP to progress through the game. I like that. You know, like I get that in Warzone right now. And so while I understand that this is a feature set in Master Chief Collection, for me, for a free-to-play first-person shooter where I think you want to keep engagement, you want to keep people involved in that loop, I think that's something they probably should think about adding in the future.
Fair enough. Okay, we're going to let... appreciate
man. Thank you. Go whatever, man.
Okay, get on. How do you pronounce? Get on the sticks. What you got for us, man?
What's going on? Thank you for letting me speak, Code, and hello, Leviathan.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I had a question for you, Leviathan, because you said that you wanted to support this genre of game, and so that you would pay the $60 for the just regardless of what it is. But what if it turns out that this campaign, so you pay the $60 and season 2 comes, and then that season is also $60 because it is a separate entity and you guys are okay with paying for one season that you know nothing about up front. So what if they said that just sets the precedent, since that's what you want to support? It sets that precedent to Xbox that they can send out incomplete games and charge full price for them. Is that really a person?
Okay, so I know you asked that to Leviathan, but I'm gonna answer. because I don't think it's a fair question. I hear you, but I think it's premature to start attributing negative aspects, right? Like the goal is not to tear Xbox down or to, like say they got bad practices or none of that stuff. Like whatever the truth is, like if that happens and it does end up being $60 for the next season and so on and so forth, like that is a very valid question, bro. Like it really is. But right now, in my opinion, it's way too early to ask those types of questions, because that's more like the fear mongering now. It's like, well, let's just start looking at all the ways this can go wrong, even if we haven't seen that's indicating that that's gonna happen. It's just like a big what if without any support. But Lev, you go ahead and answer, man. He asked it to you, but that's my take on it.
So if that happens, I'm going to be very pissed, and I'm going to trash talk and talk shit about it, and just full on, this is not okay. I'm not going to get to season 2. I supported the season 1. Maybe I'll get it down the line, but you're going to have to make it up somehow. You got to make it justify that price. If you're not going to do that, then I'm not going to buy it. And I'll just put my foot down.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, get on the sticks. Did that answer your question?
It did, and I only asked this question because this is pretty unprecedented at this time. So we've never really seen a DLC
for
campaign.
Something like Halo.
Yeah. So it seems like it would be justifiable at $30 or $40, and the fact that they go 60, and then there's still features missing. So even if you go to blindly support that, they're still setting a precedent. So I'm just wondering, how you felt about that. But that's all I have to say.
Where's the line?
Where's the line?
Where's the limit to this? All right. We appreciate you, bro, man. We get you in here next time, man. That was some good feedback, though, man. We appreciate you speaking. Thanks, bro.
Thank you.
Peace. All right, Xbox University, come on in here and start damage controlling. What you got, man? Make it quick. Xbox University, where you at? What you got? Damage control. That's the only reason you come in here. Where you at? All right, we're finna get darkest here. So he be dropping bars. All right, Xbox University, you ready? We just seen your mic come on and off. Oh, he ain't gonna do nothing. Go ahead, Darkest Hero. What you got?
Yo, shout out to you, Cole. What's good, brother?
What's going on, player? What's happening?
Chilling on this Friday, man, listening to the conversation, enjoying what I'm hearing, and just,
that's what's up.
Thinking about this whole Halo situation. I'm just tired of beating this dead horse at this point. We just keep getting bad news after bad news, and the battle pass system, I mean, I understand it, right? I get what they're trying to do, but it's like, at this point, you're putting the free-to-play aspect on the multiplayer because you're trying to keep up with the trends of what every other first-person shooter or shooter out there is doing these days, right? So, not take the fact that just by playing, you get experience to level up that battle pass and putting it into this Halo game. It doesn't make any sense. And to me, that's just an L that they have to hold, because Halo is one of those games where there's not a lot of people that will be able to complete these challenges. There's not a lot of people that will have the experience and skill that requires some of these challenges to be done, because there's some pretty tedious challenges on the Master Chief Collection as of now. And
man, you have to get good. Got to get good. That's all. Jacob, hold on, bro. Let Darkest Hero get his bars off. You gonna have to get good, Hero.
Hey, man, I'm good enough. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about the little guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the little guy get like a little double kill. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, at this point, they're not treating Halo as the franchise that it is. The legacy that Halo has garnered is being tarnished constantly by 343. And remember back in the day, PlayStation, they would say, oh, we need a Halo killer, and a lot of people would argue that Killzone was definitely one of those that competed with Halo on that level. But But even still, people were saying, "Oh, we need a Halo killer."
No.
Now,
no, let's not. I mean, I like Killzone, but let's not lie.
Hey, I'm just trying not to step on anybody's toes. You know what I'm saying? But
all right,
the fact is, they used to call games Halo killers, and now my point is, Halo has basically committing suicide. It's killing itself. 343 is not the I give 343 the credit that they should have, because they tried their hardest and it didn't work out. And I think that Microsoft should really look into giving the franchise to another studio, whether that be id Software, whether that be even Rare at this point, because 343 just they're not doing what the Halo community wants them to do. I know they're trying to strike the happy medium and find that right balance, but that whole co-op situation is still very upsetting to me and a lot of other people, because there are people who literally will tell you stories of their co-op experiences with Halo. Be damned the player count. Be damned how many hours into it. This is a core feature that has been prominent in every single Halo game, and you're removing it. And
well, they're not removing it, it's just coming later.
Yeah, I mean, they're not removing it, but the fact that it's coming later is just it's
frustrating. Yeah,
it's like like you guys are saying, you're putting $60 on this game. They are going to want to play this experience day one, and if they're waiting for co-op, they're potentially going to have the campaign spoiled for them by the time co-op campaign actually arrives, and it shouldn't be that way, especially for $60.
All right, well, we appreciate you, Darkest Hero. That's some good feedback. Man, we this in because, again, I'm not doing these 2 and 3 hour spaces no more. I appreciate your feedback, bro. You dropping bars as usual.
Thank you for having me, brother. It's always a pleasure talking to you and everybody else in the room, man. I appreciate y'all listening. I'm going to keep being a listener. You keep doing your thing, Cole.
Appreciate you, player. Peace.
I'm live on the air. What's up, Code?
So, yep, Phil Miyamoto. That's a legacy you living up to with that name. Yeah,
Phil Spencer and Miyamoto are my dad, so I have their names. So. What can I say?
All right, what you got for us, man? What you thinking about?
I think people are being ridiculous about all this stuff. I mean,
in which way? In which direction?
Everyone, whether it's PlayStation or Xbox, everybody's got these ridiculous opinions about whether it's DLC. The whole Halo campaign DLC on Steam thing, that's just absolutely ridiculous. The multiplayer is free. I don't know what people want them to do to put the campaign on the store, but you guys were just talking about it. It's the only way to get it under one package.
And Leviathan straighten that out for us.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah. So you could, in theory, bundle 2 separate games together and put it in a bundle, but then it would be considered 2 separate games on Steam and 2 separate SKUs. So by doing the DLC thing, if you play the Master Chief Collection, they kind of do the same thing for different components of the Master Chief Collection for the different games on Steam. So it's kind of similar to that.
Yeah, I just think people are like groveling at any straws they can grasp to like trash on Halo for whatever reason.
Okay, so what's your opinion? So forget what everybody else is doing. What is your opinion?
Personally, I think the $60 campaign is fine for now. If it's reviewed poorly, then obviously everybody has every reason to trash it, and you don't have to buy it. But in my opinion, try the multiplayer. If you like the multiplayer and the campaign has good reviews, then buy the campaign. No one's forcing you to buy the campaign. I mean, this is 2000.
Well, that's true for any game we play.
Oh no, I know. I mean, this is 2021. People are, the multiplayer shouldn't be free. We're getting a less package because it's $60. And this is 2021.
No, that's true. That is objectively true. That's not like a opinion or someone trying to attack. We are getting less for our $60 than we did in years past.
I'll agree with you there because they made the multiplayer. So there's plenty of games that release campaign for $60, $70 now too. Is it just because it's Halo
Sure, but I'm not.
that it's an incomplete package now? Because traditionally they've bundled a multiplayer experience with it.
Well, I will answer that. Look, but Lev wanted to jump in. Go ahead, Lev, but I will respond to that as soon as.
Yeah, so people make decisions based off of what they see value in, and if the campaign of Halo Infinite's the same length of a typical Halo campaign, the value of $60 will be too high for most people, and I would not recommend buying it just on that alone.
I agree.
If it's much longer, because like most $60 single player only games come with maybe a 10 to 15 hour story, but then there's an additional 10 to 15 hours of content, and that's for more like narrative driven. We're not talking about like RPGs that have loads of content, but for the more narrative driven, like Last of Us Part 2 or Ghost of Tsushima or Spider-Man, these games reach that value for a lot of people. And right now 343 hasn't been transparent enough about Halo Infinite's campaign. We don't know how long it is.
Thank you.
So I personally
agree with that. I totally agree.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess I don't have to answer because Lev stole my answer, but okay. So, yeah. All right. So, Phil, man, that's good conversation. We got to get you out, man, because we got to get, a couple of more people in. Like I'm ending this stream. I'm not doing no 2 hour spaces no more. So, bro, we appreciate you coming. Give Video Gamer Console a chance to get his bars off, and we'll catch you next time.
I'll catch
bro.
you the
Thanks
next
for
time.
coming through. All right, bro. Peace. All right, Video Gamer 8 man, what you got for? What type of name is that? Oh my God. What's up, man?
Code, let me just say, thanks for letting me Video Game Console hop in here. Man, I appreciate that. I've been listening to the conversation for quite some time now, and I specifically want to follow up on something about, transparency around the marketing and PR of 343 here. I've been a Halo fan for quite some time, man. I'm in my mid-20s. I played Combat Evolved with my cousins when I was a kid. 3 was my first M game, so the series is very near and dear to me. But when I look at the development cycle and the messaging of 343, here are my thoughts, man. I wanted to really give a nuanced opinion, so hang on.
Okay, have at it. What was that? Oh my God, man!
So I mean, it's been terrible, man. And to start, so it's okay that they want to charge for a campaign, right? But the issue is, it got delayed. We heard nothing about it, right? We come to Gamescom, where we're 3 months away, nothing about it. Yeah. They get rid of Forge. Yeah. They get rid of which effectively gets rid of custom games as well.
Well, they didn't get rid of
right.
They didn't get rid of it. They just delayed it. That's all.
Right. You're right. I'm sorry about that, but you're right. You got to think, though, custom games. Being a Halo 3 fan and as a kid, are a critical aspect of the experience. So we're missing that. We're missing the co-op campaign, which I admit I don't think is as important as Forge, but it's still a piece of content. I think the real issue is here 343 hasn't showed us any gameplay. They showed us a cinematic trailer for the multiplayer. Like what, dude? I mean, it's crazy. It was a perfect opportunity for them to show the campaign and say, hey, we have this meaty open world campaign we're going to give you. You're going to get your bang for your buck. We apologize about, the delay and the other features, but coronavirus has really messed us up. I think the messaging helped them here, but there's just a bunch of boneheads in the marketing department. I mean, that's really how I feel today, man.
Well, I got I have no bad takes on what you said, I think, other than your sound effects, but I think that your perspective is a good one. I think Leviathan, though, did a good job of explaining the development problems that they had. So if you missed the beginning of the stream, check that out. I think he was very thorough explaining why they are where they are, and it has nothing with them trying to be manipulative due to Game Pass or subscription type stuff. They're just difficulties that they have to deal with, being the high profile game that they are, and given the baseline where they had to start Just certain things took place at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But you're right about it. I agree with you on the message.
Yeah,
part.
man. Leviathan,
So-
I give you a lot of credit because I don't think it's like an issue of value. The value very well could be there, but we need to know more, man. I really blame the suits, at the end of the day.
Yeah. So if you talk to any game dev, they will tell you they're not a fan of like the marketing bullshit that the game industry does.
Right.
Oh, that's not just for game development. Yeah. There are products that I build for my customers, and when I look at the marketing stuff, I'm like, oh my God, that is not what we said. But yeah, that's just how it works. That's what marketing is for, to make a product popular in the marketplace.
Yeah, well, hey man, I said my piece, so Code, thanks for having me, man. And everybody, thanks for listening.
All right, bro.
See you guys.
So I'm about to get two rivals in here. I'm about to get Persona in here, representing the PlayStation side of things, and I'm about to get Doomsayers in here, and he can represent the bot side of things. So we should have balance, and y'all can speak in any order y'all want to. Go ahead, both of y'all in here right now should be able to speak. What's up, my Pegasus brother? What's going on?
Yo, Persona, you can go first.
So Cole, listen. Listen. I'm sitting here typing up a report for work. I'm listening to this show or the Spaces, and I can't help but shout out to the people that's like really like being vocal, right? Here's the thing. Halo, I don't know, not the last guy that was doing that weird ass farting bullshit, but the guy before that was kind of like dismissive about like people, dismissive about the campaign and stuff like that. Here's the thing, man. Halo is the face of Xbox. It has been since Xbox's inception. You understand?
Is it really though? I mean, that's been challenged lately, my brother. But go ahead.
Listen, this ain't a goddamn competition. They can go challenge some other bullshit. Look, listen, when you think Xbox, you think Halo. You understand? Anybody telling you otherwise, it's full of shit.
Minecraft.
Minecraft. You think back to the glory days of Xbox, and you thinking Minecraft? Minecraft just came last generation. Cut the cap. We gotta cut the cap. Yeah, you feel me? Listen,
let's move on.
Halo is the face of Xbox and always has been. When it comes to how this franchise has been handled as of late, it is not being handled with the respect that it deserves. It is completely fucked up on a multitude of levels, regardless of what anyone is telling you. Okay? When it comes to all, what's been happening, especially the news that came out, I think it was either yesterday or today with the progression and the battle pass. Listen, people keep telling you, what do they tell you, Code? Respect my time. I got a family. I gotta do this. I messed up my toe. I ain't got time. Grinding. This is why they don't like Destiny and Outriders and Anthem and all that stuff, because you have to grind. People don't like grinding. Even games like COD, the game that people love to hate, you can just play matches. You can just play matches and get progression. Game like that people have been shitting on since the beginning. You could just play matches, play strikes, raids or whatever, and it just progresses. And that's it. All of a sudden, well, we don't know what the battle pass is with this. Well, we don't know what the challenges are going to be. Cut the cap. Stop capping. Just cut the bullshit. Okay? It ain't shit that you like.
My Pegasus brother, I take it that you have a negative view of what they're doing. Did you not hear the explanation that Leviathan gave as to why they did that, or you don't care about it?
I ain't gonna lie, because I just came from the dentist.
Okay.
So
well, Leviathan, go ahead and explain how we got here with the progression thing, because it made sense to me.
Yeah. So The progression thing started because they were
first off, wait, before continue. Is this someone that works with 343?
Well, 343 made public statements about this because this was tested in the collection.
Were you a part of the test?
Yes, because it was public. It was the release of the seasons for the Master Chief Collection. Season 1 did an XP-based system. They got feedback that people wanted a more Halo 3 challenge-style system and not focus on XP-based. So Season 2 switched to challenges, was positively received, and has been the system Master Chief Collection's used since Season 2. So from that perspective, they're getting told the system works, except the problem is the people playing Master Chief Collection are the people that are diehard Halo fans. So they're looking for more of the accomplishment of, oh, I finished this challenge, versus, oh, I just played a game, give me my XP.
But why can't there be both? Why does that be one or the other?
Well, they went all the way to the Halo Infinite technical test that they had in July using this system. And then they got this casual feedback that, hey, there should be an XP-based system. And at that point, it's a little too late to pivot for launch, which is why in their blog about it, they mentioned that at launch, we're not having an XP-based system.
So that's yet another thing that people have to wait for.
Yes, it sucks. Personally, I'm fine with it, but that's just the type of player I am. It's unfortunate.
What shooters do you play?
I primarily play Halo, Splitgate, 2, sort of Apex Legends, not a fan of Call of Duty.
Okay, so
and
you don't play COD,
Battlefield.
Destiny. You don't play COD, Destiny, or any of those types of games that have this type of service.
Doom need to go ahead and do his damage control stuff for Xbox, and then y'all three can hash it out after he get his bar. Yeah, Doom.
First of all, I have anything good to say about Xbox. I'm sorry, but yes. The first thing I want to say is I've never seen fear in King David's face before until you arrived, Code. So that's the first thing.
Nope, we're not doing that.
But second thing is,
ho. No, this stuff is being blown way out of proportion. It was not my intent to attack or none of that stuff. I thought it was just comedy. In my opinion, anyway. Obviously, people have different ideas of what's funny and what's not. But no, there is no beef at all. So we're not gonna do that one, bro.
Okay, right. I got you. Sorry about that.
So what's up?
But I did want to point out, if anybody wanted to hear more of what Leviathan got on the Halo and that stuff, they can come over to my channel tonight at 6:30, Doomsayers Network on YouTube, and hear what he has to say in that. But that's about it.
What?
I know, shameless plug, huh?
You requested to speak just to shout your channel out, bro?
Hey, man, that's cool.
Yeah, because I got to promote my boy on. Man, he said he was going to come on.
I got no problem with Doom.
You know,
no, Doom is cool. All right, Doom. We about to get you out, man.
I was trying to get Dope as Jay on.
All right, man. We about to.
I was trying to get Dope as Jay on, but he's on Kids Foods podcast tonight. So Drake, there he knows.
All right, Doom. Well, look,
you're rootless.
You out, and we gonna hold on Xbox. We got Xbox University in here because we want to get some balance from the PlayStation side and the Xbox side. All right, y'all check out Doom and Leviathan. They gonna be on all this good stuff, man. All right, Doom. Peace, bro. All right.
Yes, sir.
Xbox
Yes, sir. Here I am.
All right,
Here I am.
Again. All right, so
back again.
Damage control off. What you got?
All right, my good brother Code. So this is what kills me. Now, value depends on value is eccentric to basically to the person. So basically, there's some people who looked at Returnal and said that's worth $70 to me. I was like, hell no, I'm gonna wait for it to go on sale. I got it for $30 at GameStop.
Yep.
See what I'm saying? There's some people who said Ratchet and Clank, that's worth $70. I'm like, nope, that's an 8-hour game. I'm not doing it. I got it for $40 on the secondhand market. So my point of the matter is, it's gonna be worth it for you if you're a Halo fan and you like it. And the second thing that I don't even like is that we don't even know what the campaign is yet. Could y'all like? How can you be judging something
that you know? All right, let me ask you a quick question. Are you gonna be buying this $60 campaign at launch?
Yes, I am. I'm a Halo fan. But then, but wait. Why are you laughing for?
Those two games, you saw no value, but a campaign that you have not seen nothing of, and the first time we saw it, it was buggy and a technological nightmare. It's something that you see worth spending $60 on.
So, what you're telling me is...
No. Hold on. I asked a very direct question, sir. Can we get a direct answer?
First of all, you cut me off. I wasn't asking questions, bro.
You have not seen the campaign.
Wait. Hold up.
You have not seen the campaign of Halo.
Hold up.
But you are going to spend $60 on it.
When you was talking, I didn't ask you no questions. I'm not out here to ask any questions, bro. I'm telling you my point. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not gonna debate you.
I understand that, but
I'm telling you what I want. So I'm not debating. No, I don't care.
This isn't a debate.
You're not gonna tell me what is good for me and what's good for me.
No. The reason why I'm asking you this question is not for me. The reason why I'm asking you this question is for the people. It's for the people in the chat. You said 60. You're gonna spend the 60 for this campaign, and we haven't seen nothing about it. What makes you so confident that your 60 is worth giving without?
Because the lowest rated Halo was 84 overall on Metacritic.
What does that have to do with you?
The rated Halo was better critically received than Ghost of Tsushima last year. That's the facts. So at the end of the day,
no one is mentioning PlayStation at all.
My point is,
why are you bringing up PlayStation?
My point is from Halo 1 to Halo 6. From Halo 1 to Halo 6, I have enjoyed each one. So for you to tell me that somehow, some way, you just know for a fact I'm not going to enjoy the one that's coming up. That's insane.
Where did I say that? I asked you a simple question, sir.
There's nobody forcing me to buy it. I can play it on Game Pass. I just told you yes 3 times. I told you yes 3 times. What do you mean that you're not going to answer?
But Xbox, this is the thing. This is the thing, sir. Hold on. This is a question that's being asked of the people in the chat.
Because I said I'm not doing these 2 and 3 hour spaces.
Okay.
No
go
more.
ahead.
Look, so
why you breathing so heavy?
Diversity, you did contradict yourself a little bit, just a little bit, not much, because you pulled it out by saying you was a fan. So as a fan, you are gonna buy it. Just you got blind confidence in the product. Our fan, and you support it no matter what. That's cool. We great, but you cannot then, on the other hand, say how come people can criticize it without having seen it if you believe that you can support it without having seen it. That's all he's trying to say. That's all he's saying. That's it.
Okay.
Now, I agree that as a fan, we will. I mean, shit, I was an Xbox fan. A lot of people know that. I heard a bunch of stuff without knowing what was going to be, just because I support.
We called up that Exorcist code and got you right. You good now?
No, he coming back. He coming back. We see that Xbox on top of his little on his little thing on top there. I see you, Code. Don't worry. We see you.
Listen, the only reason Code got that Xbox up there like that is because winter is coming and you need a warm room. You feel me? Let's keep this up.
No, he need games to play in the holiday. That's what you mean. That's what you mean. That's literally what you're saying. But anyway,
and Halo is what that is.
Wait. Hold up. You see. Wait, y'all got me away from my little soapbox. I was trying to do my soapbox. What I was trying to say was based on whatever game you like, you're gonna find value in it. The thing that I respect about Microsoft is that they're giving you multiple options of how to play it. If you feel like it's not worth $60, you can pay $10 and play the whole campaign. It's not gonna take you a month, is it? You can play $10 and pay the whole campaign. That's my point.
So your defense for not seeing no campaign and being shoved down with some bullshit is, it's in Game Pass, so there's no risk to you.
Wait, they literally said they're going to show campaign before launch. They said it yesterday.
Nope, I'm not doing it. I told y'all I'm not. This is already an hour and a half, so we about to get out of here. I'm going to let 2 more people in. 3 more.
All right, man.
I'm gonna ask y'all to politely go ahead and leave. It was fun, and I appreciate it. And that was my fault for getting both of y'all in here at the same time. I'll see y'all, brothers. On the next.
Good job, Cole.
All right, peace, y'all. All right, we're gonna get Ramon in here and King Thrash. I think they can get a. Oh, and then no, we're gonna get Preppy Thug in here. So Preppy Thug been waiting, and then Ramon, and then Thrash. We're gonna get you last, and then Sumo, Rain, and then that's it. After Sumo and Rain, no more. That's it. Like we gotta go. We gotta bounce. All right, Preppy Thug, you first, man. What you got, sir?
Hey, yo, what's happening, fellas? Thanks for having me. Cole, what's up, Lev?
Of course.
I just wanted to say one thing. Splitgate, 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 Splitgate. I don't know if you've heard about our Lord and Savior Splitgate, but if not, check it out.
All right, well, we appreciate it. I see you. So you think Halo, COD, Battlefield, all of them got some competition in Splitgate?
I would say Halo because Splitgate plays almost exactly like it, and it has a great variety of modes and maps. I don't know if you've played it, but it is a free-to-play game. You can level up in it to unlock cosmetics, unlike Halo Infinite. I wouldn't put it in the same class as AAA games like Battlefield and COD, but it's an amazing little free-to-play shooter that plays almost essentially like a Halo clone, except it has portals, so that adds another dimension. And if you haven't checked it out, definitely give it a whirl. It plays smooth, 60 frames a second, buttery smooth, great connection, all of that. So yeah, man, Splitgate, 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 and I'm out.
All right, bro, peace. Well, he wouldn't be a Pegasus brother if he didn't have some shade for Xbox and Halo. All right, so Sumo, you and King Thrash, and then it's gonna be Rain, and then we out of here. So that's it. That's it. No more after that. We out of here. All right, Sumo, what you got, man? You've been waiting. My fault, bro. What's up?
Yeah, no problem, Code, man. I appreciate the opportunity.
Course,
I just wanted to say, like, all this Halo, like, the writing's on the wall, and people are arguing over the unknown, right? You don't know the campaign. You ain't seen it. You don't know. This Halo's doing more stuff and doing things that no other Halo has. It's a service, all marketing, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sitting and I'm looking like, Microsoft's Xbox is making a Sega move.
What you mean by that?
They ain't trying to sell hardware, man. They're trying to be on everything and be a publisher. That's why they don't give a shit if you're going to buy it or not, because the focus is Game Pass. Why? They've got 23 million subscribers. If 10% of that plays Halo, that's a win.
Are 19 million, or not 23, but whatever.
If 10% of that, 1.9 million people are playing, that's a win.
Fact.
Right?
Okay.
So they don't care about sales. So people running around,
well,
sales
care
figures
about sales, but
when Game Pass is in play, man.
Yeah.
I let me back up real quick. Like, of course they care about sales, but when their ultimate goal, right, is to ultimately transition to a service delivery for games where you don't need no console. xCloud, they've already done it and demonstrated it by putting Series X games on one via xCloud. They're undercutting themselves because they don't care about this. This is a Sega move. So while we're arguing about Halo, while 343 gives a shit because they're still trying to do what they do, and no matter what we cry about, they're going to follow their game plan.
Okay.
People need to prep. Get your bunker ready. Bear down, because some of these cats can't even take this Halo news. Wait until you're useless.
Well, useless is a relative term, but I hear you. It's optional. Just put it like that. It's optional. But at the end of the day, it's gonna be some years before a streaming experience beats a native local experience. But I hear you.
I think for a core gamer and for someone in technology, absolutely. But for that dude who just wants his kid to play Mario or play Sonic or whatever the title is, that they don't give a shit about what P it's in,
No. And that's their play, because that's what's driving the market.
Well, that is true, but at the end of the day, even that kid that's just trying to build a castle in Minecraft, he is going to be frustrated with latency. And as those types of things exist with streaming, it's not a consistent experience. I have had wonderful streaming experiences, and then of course, families watching Netflix in one room and watching HBO Max in another, and then I'm down here trying to stream. Then my experience is impacted. So, and we have gigabit internet, so it's not just the case that the resolution, right? That's only part of the picture. At the end of the day, every gamer wants smoothness, right? So, as long as there's latency, that streaming will never really match a local native experience, but it can get close. Because like I said, I streamed the whole God of War on PS Now, and it was fabulous. I didn't have like 98% of the time it was flawless, and the time when it was messed up, it was like I could easily just wait and come back later, and it was perfect. It was exactly for what I said. Too many people streaming in the house at the same time. But so it can be done, yes, but I'm just saying local experience, until the internet itself is solved, that's just going to be a built-in handicap.
And that's where, though, I don't think they care, because good enough is getting them by. I mean, that's why Xbox capped at 1080p, 60 frames.
Okay.
But I appreciate the opportunity, man.
Yeah, man. You know, come on now. Absolutely. And you be having good input to these conversations. I'll be checking you out, bro. But yeah, I'm trying to get off of here because it's already went longer than I wanted.
No problem, brother, man. I appreciate it again. Have a good one.
Peace. Okay, Ramon, you up, and then King Thrash. We're going to end it with Thrash, man, and that's it. Yeah, that's it. Ramon, what you got? Looked like you dropped earlier. What you got, sir?
Yeah, I did drop. Thanks a lot, Code. My big thing, I mean, I'm pretty sure anybody who knows me knows I'm pretty easy going with this stuff. When campaign means that's the important thing to me, and when we're going this long without campaign, when they showed it last year, excuse me, I was like, okay, my mind was, okay, it's an early build. This looks pretty bad, but it's an early build. Wait a minute, they're going to release it when? And then when they said they would delay it, I'm like, okay, this was a bad decision, but at least they recovered that decision by saying they would delay it because the game was looking kind of rough. So I'm patient all year long. And then I don't see any campaign. I see nothing but multiplayer that first time. And I'm like, all right, well, maybe they'll show the campaign later. And then this latest show, they didn't show campaign or multiplayer. So now, like, my mouth is kind of twitched to the side, and it's like my confidence is starting to waver a little bit. And I'm like, man, come on, man. Like, you gotta show me something not right before release. And now, until they said something, I'm like, okay, so they're gonna drop the campaign footage when they basically dropped the game, and then they said they would show more closer to launch. But then when you look at, and maybe this isn't a fair comparison, but when you look at how they treat Forza and how they're treating Halo, it's like you can see the excitement and the confidence they have in Forza, and I'm not seeing that same excitement and confidence really in Halo.
That is true, bro. So yes, the amount of build-up and hype for Forza and the presentation from Xbox themselves is night and day difference than what they're doing for Halo. It's all radio silence post, some random interview somewhere, blog post, but with Forza, like every week they on that couch.
It's like a parade.
Like every week they showing you something, they explaining some new, or they're like, oh no, we've been showing it on Series X this whole time. Like, oh wow, that was Series X. Like they've been doing a lot with Forza, and you can tell exactly what you said. They have confidence that the impact that game is going to have on gamers, and they showing it. And the stuff that they showing is not even like all the stuff, right? So that's
exactly.
Point, that's a really good point.
Well, the big thing, and I'm gonna duck out because I don't want to get long-winded, but the big thing for me is, like, I mean, that Gamescom, Forza saved the Gamescom for me, because I was pissed off I only got like 25 seconds of the gunk. But I feel like, the hands-off approach that they said they're taking, that needs to be case by case. because some people need more guidance than others, and that's just in life in general.
Yep, that's gonna be another Spaces down the road. I got a lot to say on that, bro. But yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, and I feel like this Halo and 343 is kind of gonna be like, I hope it's not an indication of what their management of other studios that need more guidance is gonna be, but as of right now, all we can say is, what they're doing with 343 is likely what they're doing with other studios. I mean, obviously Bethesda and Obsidian, they can do their own thing. They don't need anything but the check. But, it just kind of shakes your confidence a little bit that the way they're managing a studio that obviously needs more guidance, and not every studio is going to be more independent. So I'm just, I'm a little bit nervous. Well, I shouldn't say nervous because it ain't that serious, but my confidence is a little wavered right now.
I hear you, and that makes perfect sense, bro. All right, man. Well, we gonna go ahead and let King Thrash do his thing. Ramon, go find a job and let us know when we can see your name in the credits, sir. All right, bro. Peace, man.
All right, peace.
What up, Thrash? The floor is yours. You, Leviathan. We gonna end it right here. What y'all got?
What's his full name? Xbox something. He was in there with
Xbox University.
Persona. I think. No, Persona.
Yeah.
He's saying that he skipped on Returnal, skipped on Ratchet because it was 8 hours, which is not true, but that's whatever. 8 hours, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask him for his credentials. I don't think he even has a PlayStation, but
well, he said he's
not realizing.
That's what he said.
Like when you a true fan of something, you want it to be better, and you want it to be the best at all times. You're not a Laker fan, and they pick up fucking Dwight Howard. You act like, and they start that nigga. You're gonna be like, hell no, like what the fuck, bro? Like you gonna criticize the Lakers for the choices they make. Just because you're a fan of something doesn't mean that you don't criticize the choices that they made or anything. You don't just accept anything. That's not what a fan does. That's just what somebody who wants to argue about gaming does. A real fan would want the best out of fucking Halo, period. So if they're listening to gamers, like the Leviathan said, they're listening to gamers about how they're making their game, then they should be listening to you on your criticisms of the game and have them fix that. Use your voice and have them make this shit better. Stop making excuses just to have an argument with a PlayStation nigga that, I don't care, I want it anyway. Fuck that. If you a fan, be a fan. Other than that, you're not a fan. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
you're not a fan.
I hear you. Hey, that's some knowledge right there, Thrash. Like, I'm with you 100% on those comments that you made. That makes perfect sense, because any fan wants the best for the product that they're a fan of. Absolutely. Hey, bro, you got to get me on this round table, man. You keep dodging me, but that's cool. I see how it is.
I sent you the invite. You dodged to me.
Hey, get me on there.
When I get home, it'll probably be on Monday or something. I'll do a show on Monday, more than likely.
All right, bet. That's what's up, bro. Peace, man.
All right, bet.
All right, Leviathan, any final words from you? Hey, my nephew Strictly, he gonna do a Spaces later today, just about gaming in general. He's like, man, I'm sick of hearing everybody complain about this and that. Like, what is it actually that's fun going on in gaming? What are you excited about in gaming? So he gonna do a Spaces on that. I don't know when, a little bit later this afternoon. So everybody make sure y'all check out his channel, or not channel, check out his Twitter page, and I will definitely retweet it as soon as he tweets the details, and we can go in there and just talk about like the joys of gaming with criticism stuff. All right, Leviathan, what you got, bro? What's on you?
Nah, I'm pretty good.
Okay.
So I'm ready to go. So.
All right, well, I appreciate the feedback and the input, Leviathan. You really helped drop facts about the development cycle, where they are, why they are where they are. Necessarily because Game Pass trying to rob people, but at the same time, there are legitimate issues that need to be addressed. And with this game as a service model, it was like, man, we really do need a complete game on launch. We can't use games as a service as an excuse. Plenty games as a service drop feature complete. We have plenty of examples. World of Warcraft is a prime example. All of that stuff for games as a service is focused on the end game. After you have beat the main game, after you have gone through all of the main content, once you reach the end game stage, then we have evolving set of activities for you to participate in, so that like it never gets old. New quest items, quest lines, unique weapons, just whatever. Like the sky's the limit. But games as a service doesn't mean ship incomplete. That is not true. Different publishers are starting to distort what gamers think when they hear games as a service. That is not what games as a service was from the beginning. That's not what it was intended to be. And there are certain games that I think will be excellent as games as a service. For example, Madden, the NBA 2K. It makes no sense to buy those same games over every single year for the marginal upgrades that they have, you know, the different story, for the My Career mode and the different stuff. Those games will be much better served having a base game, feature complete, but then next year, you know, they're going to have roster upgrades. They may add a new mode. They may do some stuff to like the challenges or whatever. But those games are perfect for games as a service. Games as a service doesn't mean release incomplete and then become the game that you should have been over time. Games as a service means you are launching complete, and we are adding value over time in addition to the base game, not as we're using this as an excuse to put out a half-finished product. All right, that's it, y'all. We're going to go ahead and close this down, and we appreciate everybody coming through. And the next time we have another one, we'll tweet it out again. And everybody, we appreciate the support. And if you having a space, my DMs are open. If you having a gaming topic that you want to talk about, you don't have to wait for somebody to start a Twitter space. Hit my DMs, tell me you starting a space. I will retweet it for you. I will do everything I can to help get your space some publicity so gamers can come through and you can chop up with the gamers on your Twitter space. All right, man. We'll see y'all the next time. Peace.
Okay, so that's it. That's the show for today. Go ahead and leave a like if you enjoyed the video. You know how this works, man. We appreciate it when you leave them likes. It lets me know that you're enjoying this type of content. Also, keep the conversation going on Twitter. You know that's where it goes down, right? If you got more that you want to say, if you got something that you want to contribute to this conversation, then go ahead and get at me on Twitter. Also, leave a comment, right? I do my best to respond to all of these comments. Let me know what you think and how you feeling, and you can interact with the other gamers as well in the comments section. If you are enjoying the content that you're seeing at the channel, it's only gonna get better. I'm trying to tell you, go ahead and subscribe. We got more stuff coming for you. I'm telling you, PlayStation has a hero in these gaming streets. I am here to represent the truth about PlayStation against these bots and the bot brain. So if you are enjoying the content, go ahead and subscribe. We got more stuff coming for you. Hey, wait till you see what's dropping next time. Ooh wee. All right, see y'all next time. Peace.